So the next section I'd like to talk about is vibrato. This is what I feel is a very important technique because it can really it can portray a very genuine sound to your playing that's very tasteful, and you can really learn it from a lot of the old blues players. I kind of learned the type of tremolo I like from Eric Clapton in the Cream, and also you can hear a lot of wonderful vibrato from Jimi Hendrix on the Electric Ladyland album. Clapton, the way Clapton would do it is he would pivot his wrist. He wouldn't clench the guitar like this. I mean, some ways people, when they vibrato and they hold the guitar tight. And what happens is you have a stiff, kind of constrained sounding vibrato. Now, if I was to take my hand away from the guitar and just let it just be open there and let the power come from the pivot of the wrist. As you can see underneath, there's a pivot point with the wrist, and it's supplying energy to the finger that you're stretching the string and give vibrato. Now, this also can be used to go down. Same technique, but in a more subdued way, can be used just to give vibrato holding a note. It doesn't require as much pivot of the wrist, but you can leave your hand free. While you do this, as we discussed earlier, you'll want to use the dampening technique around those notes. And another thing that I like to kind of do is within a chord context, you might have one note vibratoing and not have the others. For instance, on the last record on the song Pavilion, I tried to bring out a high note to vibrato without doing the other ones, such as... This also can be done with a cleaner tone. It adds a little differentiation to the voicings you're using, kind of like having a melody within the chord. And so one of the final types of tremolo I'd like to talk about, which basically I like to do on acoustic guitar, but every once in a while for a kind of a real soulful sound, you want to maybe use it on electric, where you just tremolo the effect. It's a classical technique, just going back and forth.